Alright, that title though. I'm gonna explain. Don't worry, don't trip. Don't get mad. But a little about me first, right? Um, Name is Tyrese. Been through a fucking lot. You know what I'm saying? Betrayals, backstabbings, and put into a shit ton of fucking compromising situations that I never should have really been put in. When, I was supposed to trust, it was supposed to be these people that I trusted by default. And another set of people that, should have been given a general amount of trust. All of that out the window, right? And I was on the streets, praising God, you know what I'm saying? And never give up on that. And what I just facing a whole bunch of spiritual warfare. And what I kept running into on the streets, which surprised me, was a whole bunch of demonic, sexually confused gay and bi people. And I couldn't understand why it was so fucking prevalent when, to me, it was just people falling on hard times. It should have been proportionate to, the society's amount of, you know what I'm saying, gay versus straight people. But it wasn't. And that's when I connected the dots. And I realized that this is not just, a whole bunch of, because it wasn't, the gayness didn't make them demonic, or the sexual confusion. No, that shit made them targets for wicked ass agendas, right? And because I had to look deeper than that, you know what I'm saying? My background, I very, very Bible thumper, you know what I'm saying? Holy roller type. Just 8 years ago and shit. I did exegesis in the Bible. I was behind the pulpit and shit. I wrote a couple of sermons. Just heart on fire for God. God had to take me on a very perilous and significant journey so that I didn't just get lost in the book and what it said, right? I had to understand how he truly acts, right? In the Bible, he's dealing with a nation and every so on a person, but really he's dealing with that person to help the nation. That hasn't changed. It's just expanded and been brought into a different format. Now, because his spirit is outpouring on the earth, he's dealing with the individual on a mass scale to deal with the nation. At other times, he would deal with 5 people to get the nation in order. That's how you should view the Bible. Understand the entire context, the entire historical significance, the practices they do, and view God as both a deity, but start to see him as a person and eventually your father, right? The closer you, because a lot of people like to separate those two concepts, he's as if he's not a person. He's just the sole arbiter of what the fuck is right and wrong, right? When I went on my first spiritual journey, I got baptized, I quit smoking, I quit cussing, I quit doing anything. I sold all of my shit to the church and gave 2 of my fucking checks to tithes and offerings, right? That was restriction spiritually and physically so that I could grow, right? For a time. Then God threw me in a couple of other crazy ass loops. I ain't see fucking coming, bro. But he stuck by me the entire time. And when everybody gave up on me, and when everybody fucking listened to the peanut gallery or heard, just, you know, wanted to fucking project on me or assume I was this person or accept rumors and lies that were told on me and shit, all I had was him. And all I had was me. So I didn't give a fuck about what the hell anybody else goddamn said. I was rocking with God. And throughout all of it, God was like, I don't give a fuck what anybody else says about you. I'm rocking with my son. Right? The whole dynamic of my relationship with my father has gotten so much deeper than I could ever express. And it's gotten to a point where I know he trusts me. And that's one of the greatest fucking things, like, ever. Like, wow. He trusts me. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, I'm not a liability, right? You know what I'm saying? No, but he fucking trusts me. And I trust myself. Because I've had to. Just me and him, step by step. And I know he rocks with me. And people's opinions about what's right or wrong, or holy and unholy, it's both subjective and objective. Like, it depends on, like, how you want to tackle any given situation. Like, I can give biblical evidence for this, that, and the third, but am I giving you rhetoric? Am I like just repeating what has been said for ages, or am I going deeper and am I being led by the Spirit? Now, some may say that, you know, whatever, because they don't know me, right? And if it seems like it contradicts, it might trouble an individual's spirit who is, like, on the path and walking with God. There are multiple truths when it comes to the Spirit of God, because the Spirit of God is the Spirit of truth. The Holy Spirit is the Spirit of truth. You can only get deeper truths if you fully look at the entire picture. Okay? You understand me? Like stick with me. Because if you just look at the book and you're basing yourself off of rhetoric that's been repeated over and over again, God is going to communicate to you through your spirit. If your spirit is limited by the knowledge or the context that is given to you, and you haven't been, like, freed from something, like, he hasn't guided you in the passages and in your life on how to, like, free you of something, then you're going against your conscience. And that's the loop the enemy has kept the Christians in for so long. This is why it's been like a tight restriction on true revelation. We get revelation. We have experiences with God. Things change our life all the time. But if we, as the temples of the Spirit of God on this earth, restrict our library and our communication from where the information comes from, and we limit God based off of just the text that we see. This book is holy. The words are living. They're eternal. Right? But you gotta understand, he created the whole universe. Open your perspective on how things actually operate. And then you can actually see what's actually going on. Now, why I want to tackle this shit, and it was just clickbait, whatever, is because when I was going through this, I saw it began to become clear to me that a whole lot of these sexually confused gay and bisexual people on the street, they knew the Bible like that, but they did not like God. And I had to recognize that, because they weren't very forthcoming with all the information. But I just realized it. And so seeing the hurt and trauma on their face, I tried to like help them out and console them, but I realized that it was way deeper of a spiritual and self-worth issue than I ever could have imagined. Being on the streets, you see a lot of homeless people. A lot of these homeless people are in fact prostitutes. I did not know that. And the way I figured it out is I just kept running into that same group at this area, and I was like, why the fuck is like everybody in this whole fucking area like this? Then I go start getting my shit together after I can escape that bullshit, and I go to another area, and they don't know me, but they're trying to run the same fucking gambit. And I realized that a lot of these individuals have been targeted and have been preyed upon to become, they either got turned out, they either were like hunted, like they were like people, these predators they don't give a fuck if you man, woman, child, bro. They don't give a fuck. They'll watch you, they'll learn you, and then they'll see if they can, like, most issues that like people have, they'll fucking either see like a chink in your armor and be like, that looks familiar, or they'll just throw shots in the dark and wait for your response to see if that's what they can target. And so if it's like your sexuality or whatever, they'll try to do, they'll try, like if you had, like, if you were sexually confused or whatever, but you loved God and you were following him, they would be like, they would make offhand comments, like you would, like, it would be subtle, like, and then they'd see your response, and you would think that, like, oh shit, does God really love me? Because, for example, when I was first getting attacked by this whole, I don't even know what the fuck call it, group of individuals, the one guy was like, the guy hates gay people. I was like, I don't think that's true. I mean, God's pretty, like, omni-understanding. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and he's not too far from a person. If I was, you know what I'm saying, I told him a story that related where, like, I had a family member that tried to commit suicide because they were gay. This person experienced the trauma when they were younger, and they didn't know how to fucking reconcile pain with a physical response, a stimulation with someone that they were supposed to be able to trust. Like, all of that shit is a lot to fucking handle when you a goddamn child, right? Couldn't understand that. So they fucked with him. And by the age of like 13, 14, I'm coming out of the goddamn army, or I'm on leave and shit. And my cousin in the fucking hospital because he tried to commit suicide. I was on the tail end of that, and so I visited him once. He got out like 3 days later. He's like, Mibu, where the bitches at? And I was like, I don't really, bro. I would rather have you alive. You not being authentic led you to this. Led you to almost kill yourself, bro. Why would I wouldn't want that. And it was in that time, I realized it was like, no, like, God wouldn't want that either. And you can say what you want, but a lot of the laws in the Bible, if you look at David, why did David get away with so much shit? Because he knew God's heart. The Levites are the only people who should eat the sacrificed food. It was in the temple because it was essentially, you give that food to the Levites, that is like you giving it to God. Everybody was in an uproar. It's like, you're taking the food prepared for God away to feed these starving individuals. David was livid, right? He gave the food to them. It was like, no, you don't understand God's fucking like heart, his mentality. And all throughout the Bible, people just blindly following the scripture, doing it just because God said so, but not really trying to catch a deeper insight on what he was trying to achieve. It was always the folly of Israel. It's like, you're just doing this shit because I said it and I'm God. You're not trying to understand why I said it. You're not trying to understand my heart. Because I said it would protect you, it gives you some grace. But this shit is like fucking like dirty rags you're trying to give me. Filthy fucking rags that you wiped your ass with. We don't like, there's no heart in it. There was no passion in it. There was no real communion. It was just doctrine. And that's what you got to understand. So I'm just like, nah. And I saw the reality of it. Because let's look at reality, right? Sin, all equal, right? There's worse sins. But if we're talking about strictly homosexuality, right? Okay. Well, in this context, it's just sex, right? So you're having sex with the same individual or whatever. Sex before marriage, technically a sin. When I was fucking out here and shit, I couldn't trust nobody. At a point, I'm gonna be real with you. I got horny, so I was just real with God. I was like, shit, God, I don't know about tonight. I saw this chick with some thighs, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through the celibacy and the restriction and all of that shit. At this moment, I was just being fully authentic with God. I still had the ability to be restrictive on myself, have self-control, because I operate in self-control, or maintain celibacy, but I was just being honest with him. No lie to you, when the bus passed, like right when I fucking said that, I didn't say it out loud, I said it in my head. Right when I said that, the bus said use protection. God understands my fucking dedication, my love for him, and what I'm willing to do. He knows that I'll restrict myself if need be and if necessary, and whenever he tells me to. This is why he trusts me. So, in this experience, all I could ever be was fucking authentic. I wasn't trying to fucking portray I'm better than anybody goddamn else. I wasn't trying to portray this holier than thou bullshit. No, I'm talking to him like that's my daddy, and my daddy gonna understand if I'm a little emotional right now, or if I'm a little mad, or if I'm just cussing, or if I'm having a joke. Cause that's my fucking father. He knows me. He done raised me. So I was just real with him. And the answer he gave me, you think that's in the Bible? No. That's the Spirit telling me. It was like, hey, you're responsible. You did your research. You did your homework. You are willing to restrict yourself like 9 times out of 10. 50-fold. You know what I'm saying? You always trying to do better. I did all of that for your morals, for your standards, and for your conviction. So, I mean, I didn't even like fuck her anyway, because I was just like, nah, it's not really what I wanted, right? But God didn't just be like, no, you are you're backsliding, you're fucking evil or whatever. He's like, he gave a father's response. Because I viewed him as a father. I literally was in my head like, daddy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I might just smash. All he did was say, be responsible. That was the response that I got. Right? Because my heart and my spirit are connected to his. And so I just extrapolate. When I see other people going through shit and struggling, and I'm like, God damn. All of y'all, like, it was so fucking prevalent. It was just like damn near every fucking homeless individual I encountered was in some regard having to do sexual favors just to get fucking by. And they had a pimp. And it wouldn't seem like this shit if you didn't know. But I was close to this shit, and I observed, and I figured it out. And I figured out that that's exactly what the fuck they were trying to do to me. They was either trying to turn me out, project some bullshit, or leave me so destitute that the only way that I could get money was to go back to sinister individuals that only pretended to care about me, or be forced to sell my body for the sake of fucking food on the table. That's crazy. So when I saw the pain on these people's faces, I saw that like this was, and some of them I could tell really fucking loved God. One in particular. And when you repress all of that shit and you shame someone, and then you got like these hidden gay people and bisexual people, it doesn't give them a chance to like healthily like work through whatever the fuck caused the shit. Because I mean, going through it and really trying to deep dive to help others, for real, like most of y'all that got this like issue with it, or that issue, that thank God you didn't have to go through that fucking situation. You're not gay. Like the majority of it's most of that shit is like fucking father wounds, mother wounds, or a lack of a certain fucking need that you wouldn't really think was a big deal, but because it affects everybody differently, like it did, and that's in your developmental stages, or trauma, like somebody violated in a major way, and you never that you were supposed to trust, or a stranger, and you weren't protected. Like all of these fucking things, if you don't have, and you just call it sin, right? That is gonna like fuck with you and fester because you're not dealing with it. You're not being like, oh, my father was gone and I'm just psychologically or absent for a little bit or emotionally unavailable. And I just desired my father's attention. Boom. You don't fucking make the connection that when you hit puberty, like that's is that unresolved issue got tangled into your fucking sexual desires. Obviously, you're not thinking about your father or your mother. It's something that's unresolved, and the longer you go like that, the longer it can like fucking cement in your head, and then you start to identify with either trauma, lack, abuse, or anything, or even like a psychologically like damning image, like if you were exposed to like like if your parents restricted you from like a lot of mature content, and you mistakenly like see some content like that, it's gonna imprint on your fucking brain. And then if you like don't like, you weren't supposed to see that anyway. You know you weren't supposed to see that because now you're feeling like, oh shit, what's happening? And then like you try to like get away with it. You're not gonna tell your fucking parents, and that shit is gonna fucking ride with you. But it's such a like a for those that can't really accept themselves or even try to like, because of like shame that religion has given, right? You don't even want to touch that. You'd rather just ignore it, keep going about your day, and then that shit fucking explode into some other fucking manifestation because you didn't deal with the shit. And sometimes you can ride that fence and that balance for a long time, but eventually, like, if you don't deal with shit or either accept yourself, then you're a target from these like nefarious motherfuckers, because now they're using rhetoric and religious teachings, and they'll say shit, and then they'll be like, oh, that shit hit you. Oh shit, you may be sexually confused, or you may be gay and you ain't tell nobody. Ooh, now I gotta end. And because you don't know yourself, and you may not have like a very clear connection with God, if you don't keep talking to him or trying to, and you just stay restricted to his words, his text, right? And you see it or in just like a cookie cutter way, because that's how religion is taught you, it'll distance you from God. So now you don't have God, but you don't even have yourself. So that's prime pickings for any random ass nigga with a shred of manipulation tactics to now have you doing only God knows what. You know what I'm saying? And I am never, after all of the like shit niggas tried to put me through, and then also while seeing the fucking trauma on all of these individuals' faces, or the acceptance of shit, or like the fucking the blank nothingness, or the strong grip on substances to just cope with shit, because people don't fucking, when did they care? You know what I'm saying? When did they fucking care for them? It's a good question. They're adults. If they keep doing this shit, that's on them. I you know what I'm saying? But I understand. That's what I'm saying. I'm a judge correctly. It's fuck shit. It shouldn't be happening. But I get it. Right? And so I'm just like, well, goddamn, why did God make me go through this? Why did God make me see all of this shit? And I'm dealing with some weird ass fucking turnout fucking rapey ass niggas that never fucking like initially say what the fuck they into, right? They just, it always boiled down to like niggas trying to goddamn rape me. And they use this like fucking shame shit. Like, bruh, I'm a good man. I ain't trying to rape no fucking body, right? Like, these niggas is out here trying to fucking drug me, fucking trying to do the absolute most after like having like these pretend smiles and all of this fake shit. And I think it doesn't get spoken about because first off, it's weird. Like, individuals plotting and planning and doing all this goddamn scheming just to rape people, you know what I'm saying? And then men on men, like men have like this little pride or a sense, and it's just like they'd rather just not talk about it. Like if they escape, probably ain't gonna talk about it. It's like this weird shit. Don't go over there. Some type shit. And if they did, unfortunately, succumb to the shit, if they don't deal with the trauma, hurting other people in a similar manner is technically it's not a healthy one, but it's a release. It's a they can fucking, I guess, indulge in it. It's like in some way it's a psychological mechanism, right? And then what's the alternative? Fucking destroying all of your goddamn little bit of pride you have left by coming clean. And then what if these people succumbed because of religion? Well, religion denies them. So now these people are going further into other false deities and evil worship and Baal and Satan and all of this wicked shit. Because I mean, even if they were accepted by society, that didn't feed them spiritually. These people, like a lot of them had like pictures on their phone with like angel wings that were burnt, and I heard like a couple of them say like, I'm a fallen angel. These were the individuals that at one point loved God and they went through trauma. And I saw one dude, and he tried to say it to convince himself. He scrolled down and it's like, fallen angel. Like try to like pump himself up, but like I saw the tremble in his fucking lip, and it was like, that's the good thing about being human, man. You can stand up, but I don't think it reached him. He was when so many people that you've been around for so long, because I don't know how long he was in that shit, are saying the same shit. It's a cult. It's indoctrination. It's brainwashing. I tried to comfort these people. I was like, don't give a fuck about none of that. And I saw it was like fucking shit. Religion is how they fucking got them to stay in this fucking pit. And then they just identified with all of that shit and other trauma bonding bullshit. And it kept them inhibited from going back to God. And I was like, no, fuck what any of that bullshit is gonna say. Fuck anybody that's gonna like try to demean you or whatever. And I was like, just focus on your relationship with God. And I bet don't go too crazy with it. Don't beat yourself up for any bullshit. Forgive yourself. And don't blame this, and don't fucking like beat yourself up for shit other fucking vile individuals like schemed up to do to you. And fucking just wake up and be like, God, I love you. Maybe I need a little bit of convincing that you love me or I'm worthy of, but today I fucking am gonna worship you. And leave it there. Wait for a response. And none of them wanted to do it. But I already knew. I was like, if you would have just did it, you would have been fine. Because your sexual orientation is not bigger than God. And for most of you motherfuckers, it's just trauma or a lack that you're too afraid to deal with, and you've already become comfortable in pain or that situation that you're in. Like, you're comfortable with coping with shit. You're comfortable with having it, your release like that. You're comfortable. It satisfies something when you can perpetuate what was done to you to someone else, and then show fake love or some twisted sense of care to an individual as you brainwash them under you, because you were in turn brainwashed under another. And so I had to look at the reality of the situation. And that's what I saw. I saw, for real, you just see God as a person. You can make that transition eventually. You start to see him as a father. At that point, when you've been cultivated and you share his heart and his spirit, everything else is trivial. Because you can't make the perfect, like, decision. You can't bat 1,000. You know what I'm saying? The real point is, in reality, right, is, yeah, those are his rules. They're going to be eternal. He lives in the far end of infinity and shit. Like, but you live in the right smack dab in the middle of now. You know what I'm saying? Reality, right? He created reality. It's not absurd to him. You have individuals that go through shit who are traumatized. You have people who have wounds, and you have people who are gay. What do you do with them? You don't just fucking wipe them out or say God doesn't love them or send them to like them fucking conversion camps, because them bitches never worked. So what do you fucking do? Why is everybody like scrambling with this shit? And why is there such a fucking like chasm and gap between any of this shit? Because at any, like, shit, for the most part, God just lets you be you. He only dealt with one nation, Israel, strictly. All the other nations, he still provided for, but they could do whatever the fuck they wanted, to an extent. Like, if it got real bad, God was going to charge in. But these people were doing technically heathenistic things for centuries, and God allowed it. Because God, it's more about putting your fucking, think about the spiritual significance. If you could just, God created you and you could just fucking wild out, just have goddamn orgies all the fucking time, indiscriminately fuck whatever the fuck you wanted, be it fucking man, woman, goat, or and was horrible as child, right? You're getting caught up in the physical, and now your baser desires are ruling you. He was dealing with a nation. He was like, generally, I need your nation. Like I designed everything. Follow the course of school, of my household, so I can impart, right? Like, don't you fucking like do things that your brothers or sisters or your parents do, and it's just automatic. Because I've had a couple times where I'm like, I just did shit. They never told me why. It was just a practice I did. And then when I'm older, I'm like, holy shit, that's why they told me to do it. And I still do it to this day. And now I know why I do it. That's essentially what he's doing. Once you leave his household, you are an independent adult. The only thing you need is your morals and your standards. That came from the book. Keep your morals and standards. Because what did Jesus say? The two greatest commandments were: love God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul, and love your neighbor like you love yourself. And with that, you fulfill the spirit of the law, because you have the blood that covers you. So, biblically, you are subject to the law, right? If you do not accept Jesus. Even still, you have the benefactor of like a shit ton of levels of different grace dynamics that actually fucking cover you. And so even still, you're not even, and you're so far separate from like the physical like importance of like you don't get to see the fact that like that animal got slaughtered because you fucked up, right? Jesus died. We don't have to kill animals no more. We don't even have to sacrifice people, but people doing that, whatever. You don't get to see that. You're very privileged individuals, even if you're ignorant to it or you're mad wicked. You're still goddamn more privileged than a lot of niggas in the past. And so I'm gonna be authentic, and God loves me being authentic because I've proved my heart, my spirit, and we ride. I'm always gonna have God back, and God always gonna have mine. And so if anybody, because again, looking at the reality of shit, I'd rather people be fucking honest about who they are. You ain't gotta tell me shit that happened in your goddamn past. As long as you fucking honest about who you are, right? Don't like get into a relationship with a woman if you gay, and don't get into a relationship with a dude if you gay. Like, just for cover. You wasting niggas' time. Also, if niggas is hiding this shit, then that repressed shit, what is it gonna manifest to? It's just susceptible fucking agents for this wicked shit, and now you got rapey ass niggas. Now you got a whole shit ton of weird ass, rapey ass niggas, either on the streets, in the pen, or in weird levels of society, in random spots and shit, because they can't fucking be honest with themselves. So they do shit in the dark and secret, and then it spiritually separates them from God because they're not authentic. That's the reality. You keep doing this shit, this is what you're gonna get. Sexually confused and repressed, fucking horribly developed individuals that'll do the fucking worst. And then, because they're in this goddamn echo chamber of fucking whatever, don't help shit. And you know what? I've seen how like people try to help other people, and then like people, like how God deals with people. Like, God doesn't do shit in a straight fucking line. God has you go through shit, and God gives you an adequate amount of time to get shit out of your fucking system, if need be. And if you're responsible, he allows favor. Favor isn't fair. Anywhere in the Bible, does it describe how favor works? Please show me. No, if you experience favor though, you know you know. And that's on God. So if you gay and you bisexual or whatever, or even if you confused, why the fuck does anybody got time? Like, it should be in your fucking business, because they should be fucking dealing with themselves, right? So don't give a fuck about what the hell they think, right? Because I don't want. Okay, my main goal is for individuals to have a similar relationship that I have with God, with way less goddamn stress and trials and tribulations. I've been through shit. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, I loop that bitch to you. So, like, you could be your fucking self, not worry about shit. And I guarantee you, when you start doing that, and you start being your authentic self, and you take steps and you wait for him, and again, I gotta warn you, you'll get spiritual attacks telling you you're not doing enough. You'll probably even get like scriptures thrown at you randomly. Like that's Satan, right? Because he uses the Bible too, trying to imbalance your newfound relationship with God. He will use deceptive tactics, and he'll use the words of God too. Fuck all that shit. Fuck the peanut gallery. Accept yourself, right? Do that. This is good fucking advice for everybody. Accept your fucking self. And know that with so many fucking nuances out in the goddamn world, you're not that different, and nobody's really that different than you. They go through shit. They done been through shit. They got fucking they may have fucking goddamn, oh shit, that shit lost my train of thought. Yeah, anyway, my bad. They got fucking insecurities. Don't let none of that shit ever stop you from your relationship with God, or inhibit your prayer, or whatever. You better wake up and every day and be like, I know God loves me. Why? I'm lovable. Do I love people? And do I love God? And am I taking that step to get closer to him? Am I generally kind? Do I treat people like I want to be treated? And am I getting closer to God? Don't worry about shit else. And I wanted to tell you all of this because niggas can say whatever the fuck they want about me and about my journey or about anybody else's journey. Bruh, God never gave a fuck. People judge you way more than he does. He understands you. What did Jesus say? And come to condemn the world. Right? All that judgment shit happens at the end. Which, you know, time is clicking down, but at this point, you have every opportunity to be redeemed and be your authentic self. That's how God works with you. The more authentic you are, the more you are you. Because you're your soul, right? You're somewhat you're one part your core self, and then you're also a total of your actions, but also your mindset. So if you can separate events that may have happened to you from yourself, there's ways to heal those wounds. But to be honest, if you believe that if you've healed those wounds or addressed anything, or as long as you are living in a healthy mindset, you've already dealt with it in a healthy way. I wouldn't even trip about changing. I would just focus on getting closer to God. If you do understand that you have wounds that you may want to address, because some of that shit will have you doing crazy shit, like fucking with kids and shit. You need to goddamn address that shit. And remember, it's painful, because you got to go to the past, and you got to accept shit that you may have perpetuated. Niggas got to heal. Like the other shit, yes, there's consequences to shit. Shit's got to get worked out. Fucking got it. But just blaming niggas for a perpetuation of shit that's happened for like fucking generations and shit, it's almost like they didn't have a chance. Yes, they are responsible for their own actions. No, at some point, well, yes, but at some point, we need to address this weird ass, judgmental ass world we live in. We need to address shame. We need to address guilt. We need to really understand and try to get people into the spirit of God, because that's why the world is going to shit so fucking fast. Niggas is disconnected from God and source. Whatever name you want to call it. You got Christians who are stuck in the book, but ain't really trying to like bridge that gap to spiritual sovereignty, to co-rulership. You got spiritualists that do all of the work, but if they don't have like a good foundation, they can get tripped up in either a false light or go down the negative path. We need to address things. We can't sweep them under the rug. We can't turn a blind eye. We need to deal with people accordingly, but also with a level of divine understanding, because that can bring divine healing. If our society's fucked up and we all like picking a goddamn side, some niggas picking sides because they think it's popular, it's popping, it's cool. Christianity's cool now. The fuck? Do what the fuck you want, bro. Like, I swear to God, I'm like, people. God created people. God gave them free will. I'm not gonna inhibit on nobody's fucking free will. I just want niggas to not be scared or hindered in their relationship with God because of either outdated doctrine or misused doctrine. Because again, I'm giving you this so that you can try. And God ain't gonna fucking God ain't never gonna hold anything against you for trying. You know what I'm saying? You can't go against your conscience. Pray about it, right? And but make the decision, make the statement. God, I respect you, and I'm trying to understand. Guard me against the lies of the enemy. Lead my spirit as I take this leap of faith, this step out of doctrine and rhetoric. Because I want to know, and maybe I should know already, but would you love me despite? You can do that. You got some like, I mean, and then look at the evidence. Like, I knew a fucking gay prophet. And the way, like, I wouldn't have received it the way unless God fashioned my interaction with him the way he did. And I may give more context into that, but God blessed the man. God, he did have a prophetic gift, and it was good. The man restricted himself, but he just came to a realization. It was like, I mean, I tried to change, but I am what I am, and I just don't get in relationship with men, and I just help people. You know, I respected the shit out of that. Spiritually, he did what he's supposed to do, and he was fine with it. But God will give you the desires of your heart if your spirit's right, and if you go through things. Sometimes restrictions can last a lifetime. Sometimes restrictions can last a generation. Fucking, you weren't allowed to eat fucking meat all the way from fucking Adam to goddamn, who's Adam's, Methuselah, right? Noah and his kids could eat fucking meat. You see, you understand what I'm saying. Like, there's evidence for this. But for this branch, for this leap of faith, you are going to need, I mean, some people are so goddamn confident. It's like, or like they're so free from like judgment and shit. They could probably be like, huh, maybe I will not give a fuck and just start with, God, I love you. You were more understanding than I thought, and I guess I never really looked at your actions through like the scope of raising humanity through thousands of years, while also taking care of the other universe. You were just giving order, and you were helping us develop. But they made it seem like, and that's just, I'm sorry for listening to third-party motherfucking individuals about who you were and not, you know. Can we start over? It's slow. We'll be slow, you know. But I would love to have that type of God, you know, who's really himself, who is understanding, who does listen, and actually is way cooler and realer than I ever fucking thought. Like, I'm not forgot about. None of any of me is really disqualified. I just gotta do like a couple steps, and they're not even like, it's not as though I'm perpetually evil or like, you know, like fucking forsaken or some type shit like that. God's gonna be like, yeah, I know these niggas been talking shit on my name. These niggas didn't even get it. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that, one thing, don't, you may have the other, like, Christians or whatever, come at you and shit. Like, don't argue with them, because they're still your family, right? Spiritually. It's just that they're at a different point. And when God also needs people to teach the Bible, because sometimes, like, change takes a gradual fucking step. Don't beat them upside of the head with like this new level of spiritual freedom. They're gonna have to figure that out on their own, and they should see that through your walk, right? You're getting blessed. You don't treat people like shit. You're not judgmental. You just know God loves you. You love God, and you love other individuals, and you're fine with living your life. And the blessings that should follow should be very similar to the blessings Christians get. And that, when both are showing the fruits of the Spirit, Because the fruits of the spirit ain't got shit to do with sexual orientation, right? Boom. Eventually, the two branches is gonna fucking get together. And now we don't got fucking, like, repressed ass rapey niggas with fucking agendas trying to fucking, like, take all of this sexual shit to a point where it's starting to groom kids and adults and society, because they'll manipulate it and make shit way worse than it actually is, and then pit people against each other. Nah, I want the majority of my father's children to go back to him. And the fucking formula is so goddamn simple. And I just made it a point for this shit, because really, like, all of this nuanced shit and what I've dealt with, like, I've seen, there's a whole bunch of fucking revelations that, like, I've experienced. But this is one of the worst cases. This, like, hidden or confused or traumatized sexual past that people can't fucking reconcile with, and it just turns into this vile fucking monster that nobody wants to fucking tackle. Let's just make it a habit not to judge people. We act accordingly, but we gotta stop individuals from falling into this dark pit. And we need to get them help, even if they gotta go to, like, and we need to tackle shit spiritually. Like, let's get them fucking psychological help. Let's make it less of all of these trivial issues, and let's just focus on spiritual shit. Right? We're not ignoring physical or like real life world shit, you know what I'm saying? But let's integrate a lot of, like, spiritual readiness, acceptance, understanding, and wisdom into individuals. Less judgment, but when we do judge, it's fair. We need to make shit fair and let people elevate in their own time. Okay? We can do that. And then some, you know what I'm saying, some, like, strikes, like, you know what I'm saying, like, fucking just get in that bitch, you know what I'm saying, like, fucking boom, you know what I'm saying, take down some goddamn fortifications of and wickedness, you know what I'm saying. Yes, I love that shit. I want that shit. I want shit to get done, you know what I'm saying. But, you know, when fucking people are running out of the fucking, their little camps on fire and shit, you know what I'm saying, throw a bucket of water on them. You know what I'm saying? Put a towel over them and shit. And be like, yeah. Don't keep fucking up. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't letting you niggas get away with shit. But we still see you as human. Cause let's focus on core issues. Let's listen to people. Let's really fucking address shit. And let's not divide. That's it. The less people hiding they shit, I see that as a beautiful net win. And then, I'm not saying you technically, I'm just like, if religion could be like, we're not gonna worry about that issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't like, get rid of your morals or characters or the way you think and interpret shit just based off of what I say, right? Like, cause that, you wouldn't like, you wouldn't stand on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying is like, be open to what I'm saying. And if you can receive it and you can see it and God, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Then you can, but really, is it really such a thing that you gotta be like zero focused on? Like, why are you putting so much goddamn effort on that issue? Out of all of the fucking words and laws and shit in the fucking Bible, that that one, you know what I'm saying? Think about shit. Like, can you peel it back a little bit and be like, you know what? God is a dynamic God. You know, maybe I can, maybe that he's on to something. And is it really such a big deal? Isn't it better for people to be authentic with themselves? And maybe we can get them to know God while being authentic. And let God handle the rest. Crazy idea, right? You know what I'm saying? And so now you're free to talk to them. I mean, I'm not saying it was always a goddamn war or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But with at least that like fucking relief of like stigma and judgment and shit, it opens the floodgate for more souls to find their relationship with their Father. And I just, that's just a win. And you got less rapey fucking niggas. Less traumatized motherfuckers trying to hurt other motherfuckers. Because I don't think nobody in the fucking world wants to get fucking trafficked. Men, women, child. But I see an abundance of this bullshit. And they're sticking in their trauma. And they're not getting closer to God because of this fucking loop. This mental loop. So, spiritually, God gave me an answer. God will prove the answer through your experience with him. Just know yourself and know when it's God speaking or it's like Satan. Because Satan will fucking try to beat you up with the words of God. That's why I say start small. And I'm the one that should be talking because I was like, I'm getting baptized. I'm doing fucking everything right. I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fucking earn God's love. And all full circle, I just realized like the love was always there. And that's it. That's the major point. The love was always there. And if you start with love, because he is love, and I would just tackle those two basic commandments, get your morals up, and receive his spirit. Accept Jesus. You're not condemned. Do I sound like I'm condemning anybody? If you want to know if I got the fruits of the spirit, man, you can. I'd advise you to. I'm a good dude though. And I know that. But not everybody might not know me, so you know what I'm saying? You should always identify the fruits of the spirit. Be wise. Cause with the with the evilness that is out here, your innocence, your purity, your genuine nature, your authenticity, your generosity, learn to discern, grow spiritually. I swear to God, if you pray, he gonna answer that. So be careful. It'll be like, I want to grow spiritually. Look, sometimes he might throw you in the ringer for 2 years. God damn it. I'm hoping I can help mitigate and fucking make it a lot less. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, only one generation of Israel had to go through the desert. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Like, if you know what I mean. Don't, like, but if you want to honor God by not cussing, if you want to honor God, like, he all of that shit is approved by him as long as your spirit, he loves it. But you can't tell me that he don't love the way I speak, because I'm real. So you can't tell me that he doesn't love other people if they display fucking true, genuine love to him and their fellow man. You can't argue with me on that. Give yourself the same amount of love from God. Know that you are loved just as much. No matter which way and how your holiness expresses itself. Because it should be familiar. And don't fuck with them like them copycats and them clones and shit. Because they can be deceiving. They can get you for a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? You might take a L here or there, but you know what I'm saying? God got you. You go get out there, bitch. Alright, go.